Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Parliamentary Secretary for the Minister of Environment, through no fault of his own, the PMO prepared talking points led him into a statement that was incorrect. He said by my notes, quote, greenhouse gas levels are falling, unquote, and then significant reductions in greenhouse gas levels. If they had consulted the Environment Canada website at PMO, they would know that neither of those statements are correct. Greenhouse gas levels have been rising steadily ever since the recession ended, and they are slated to end at 734 megatons by 2020, less than 0.5% below 2005 levels, when the Prime Minister committed to 17%. Can the Honourable Secretary commit that PMO will be instructed to check Environment Canada's website?
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, I do beg to differ with my colleague across the way. Since 2005, Canadian greenhouse gas emissions have decreased 5.1%, while the economy has grown by 10.6%, Mr. Speaker. Wow. This uncoupling is historic, and actually our per capita carbon emissions have fallen to their lowest levels since tracking began, Mr. Speaker. That's our record, and we're very proud of it.
Honourable Member for Thunder Bay, Superior North.
Mr. Speaker, the Reform Act could help to fix Parliament and restore Canadian democracy. But the leaders of the three major parties threaten to kill the bill if it's not watered down. The leaders and the parties love having their MPs under their thumb and sometimes under their heel. Will the ministers support the current version of the Reform Act and get MPs working for their constituents once again?
The Honourable Minister of State for Democratic Reform.
Mr. Speaker, I think the member is speaking from his experience of the overly controlling leadership of the NDP, which prevents people from speaking out freely. During a 2-year period investigated by the Globe and Mail, in fact, the NDP did not have a single member of its caucus vote independently from leadership. In 1 of 4 votes on this side of the House of Commons during that same period, there were members who stood up and voted independently. We do have a bill before the House now with the Reform Act that will take away the leader's legal veto over candidates. The Prime Minister has announced his willingness to accept the elimination of that section of the Elections Act, and we will continue to work with the member on the bill.